Today, my message is about building on our strengths. And obviously, we're trying to accomplish certain things in here. We're trying to reach certain goals where we become, say, more patient, more tolerant, just more righteous people in general. And I think we can all testify that it's not a very easy thing to actually do. Things get on your nerves and you want to just go off your natural instinct and just kind of unravel when things get on your nerves. You know, people that you don't like come and, they get on your case or say they kind of step on your toes or whatever, and you want to pop off at those people. And that's just the natural thing that we do. And so it's hard to kind of cut down on that now and, completely turn our way of behaving around from what just naturally been programmed to do. So it's definitely not an easy thing. It's definitely something that takes time, takes work, it takes dedication. But there are strategies that we can use. We've been over lots of strategies in here that we can use to kind of make that process easier. And one of the strategies that I find the most helpful with me is building off of the strengths that I have. When I say building off the strengths that we have, I pretty much mean just using what we're good at and applying it to the spiritual, using what we're good with and using that to further along our spiritual walk. Something that my coach always says is that I didn't run up to hit the ball. He said, you always wait for the ball. And he hated that. He always hated when I waited for the ball. And so he'd say, you need to run up there and you need to smack the ball. He said, because if there's one thing that we know is that you're fast. And so I guess that's something that he's observed. Just, if you're a coach, you just observe things like that. But he said, the one thing that we know without a doubt is that you're fast. And so you have to use that skill that you have and you have to build off of it so that you are performing overall in the entire game well. And there might be other things that you're not necessarily good at. You might not be as good as with a backhand. You might not be as good with a forehand. You might not have your stroke down perfectly. But if you use your speed to run and hit that ball and not wait for it, let it bounce twice or whatever, but you'll use that speed you have to run and get that ball as soon as it bounces, even before, then you can use that skill, build off of that, and make your overall performance in the game better. So some people might be natural born leaders. That's a strength. Some people might just be good speakers, just naturally. That's a strength that some of us are just naturally blessed with. Some people are just naturally blessed with certain things. And instead of us just trying to take on this mission just as, a whole and be like, okay, I'm going to do this, and just throw ourselves into it and be like, okay, well, today I'm going to be righteous. That's going to be a bit hard. So instead of just throwing ourselves in and saying, well, today I'm going to be a righteous person, what we should try to do is use what we're already good at. Well, I know I'm an influential person, and so today I'm going to use my influences to influence somebody to do something that maybe is above what they would usually do. I'm going to influence this person to, think outside of the box. Influence this person to think on a higher level. Well, I know I'm a good speaker, and so I'm going to use the strength that I have to speak to these people and spread the wisdom that I've been shown and use that skill to spread it to these people in a way that is coherent that they can understand. That is us using things that we already know that we're good at and building off of that until, we kind of, our performance overall gets better. If we're able to first start on what we are strong with, the other things are going to start to come. The whole plan of Yahweh is like a web. And so, you start with one thing. If you start with patience, you're going to also develop compassion. And if you start with, and then after you develop compassion, you'll also develop, say, mercy. So once you start on one thing and you get that under, there's other things that are intertwined with that, that are connected to that. And when you get strong in a particular thing, other things you start becoming good at. And so we use our strength to build ourselves in particular areas that we are good at. And instead of just trying to take it on first and just be, okay, I'm righteous. I'm going to be righteous. Use our strength to build up on things that we are good at and use and apply that to the spiritual. Apply that to Yahweh's word and be able to use other principles, other things that we might not be so good at. We'll probably start to be able to build up within us once we start on the path. Well, the thing is we have to start on the path first. And pretty much what I'm saying is that, starting on the path first, the easiest way for us to be able to start on the path first is taking something that we are good at and applying it to the spiritual, applying it to Yahweh, and using that to do some good around. And if we can do that, well, then we're going to start on other things that are intertwined, and they're eventually going to come. And so, pretty much, it was pretty much about just using what we already have, what we already understand, different things that we're good at, because everybody's given a gift, even if it's not so obvious at first. Everybody's given a gift, and so using the things that we're talented in, the areas that we are strong in, to build up our spiritual performance, so that we can do good in the game overall. And that's pretty much my message for you.